नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय। राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय, राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गिरधारी राधा गिरधारी राधे, जय राधा गिरधारी राधा गिरधारी राधे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जय जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। बोलो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरे वनचारी यमुना तीरे वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च। श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you all, everyone joining. So last time we have discussed till 5.13. So today we'll start from 5.14. So we have seen so far 13 slokas from chapter 5. Okay, so in 13th slokas we have seen, that is Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, chapter number and verse number 13. So chapter number 13, verse number 13 says that soul resides happily in city of 9 gates, Navadware Pure Dehi. When he controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions. Okay, soul resides happily in the city of 9 gates. Okay, so cause of soul suffering owing to the forgetfulness of his superior nature and identifying with the material nature. When soul forgets Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna, soul forgets his real identity, soul forgets the absolute personality of Godhead, soul forgets that who is the supreme proprietor, soul forgets that Lord Krishna is the only supreme personality of Godhead. So this all happens because of ignorance, because of too attachment to material nature. And Jivatma thinks that I am doing all these activities. Actually, material nature is active. All these activities are done by material nature. And if you perform any activity belonging to material nature, it has got 3 modes of material nature. It has got 3 modes. So your activity may belong to goodness, your activity may belong to passion, or your activity may belong to ignorance. That is, you cannot control. You are performing any activity, it will belong to 3 modes of material nature. That is Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Goodness, passion and ignorance. Okay. So what is the cause of soul suffering? Owing to the forgetfulness of his superior nature and identifying with the material nature. So when we forget that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, that is the root cause of suffering in this material world. And the soul is placed in body. This body is cover for soul. Okay, and we say that this body consists of 9 gates. What are the 9 gates? 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, genitals, and anus. These are the 9 gates. Navadvare Pure Dehi. Soul placed in the city of 9 gates. So in figure you can see that these are the symbols, the where actually soul resides. The soul has a choice, although subjecting oneself to the conditions of the body, one can be beyond those conditions if he so desires. Soul has option. Soul can be placed in the body, but it can be independent out of this body. Okay, by remembering Lord Krishna. So although you are living in material nature, you are living in this material world, you are performing all the activities belonging to material nature, but if you remember the superior nature, you can, by living in this material world also, you can be liberated. Okay, so what happens by process of Krishna consciousness? Revive one's original position. If you remember Krishna, by remembering Lord Krishna only, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra only, by knowing the knowledge about Supreme Lord Krishna, the knowledge about absolute truth, you can revive your original position. And for that purpose only we have got this life. And human form of life is very, very rare. So once you have got human form, that you are lucky, you can work for the liberation. You can work for Krishna consciousness. You can serve devotees. You can associate with devotees. You can hear Krishna Katha. Okay, so and comes out of the embodiment. So Krishna consciousness comes out of the embodiment. One becomes complete aloof from bodily activities. If you perform Krishna consciousness, you can be aloof from the bodily activities. So in just such a controlled life, one deliberations are changed and he lives happily within the city of 9 gates. So if you perform Krishna consciousness, if you can revive your original position, if you can come out of the embodiment, in such a controlled life, you can live happily in the city of 9 gates. And it is given, and solution to the soul suffering is given in Svetasvatar Upanishad 3.18. When the living entity identifies with the Lord within himself, he becomes just as free as the Lord, even while in the body. If you remember Lord, if you revive Krishna consciousness, while living in this body also you will feel that you are not in this body. You will feel like independent, like God, like Supreme Lord Krishna. Supreme Lord Krishna is independent. Although he has created, he is living in this material world also, but he is aloof from this material world. Material world, material activities, Prakriti cannot touch Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna, although he has created everything, but he is independent from all these things. Similarly, if you remember Krishna, if you revive or your original position, if you work for Krishna consciousness, even while you are living in this body, you can be independent, similar to Lord Krishna. Okay, you can live a happy life while living in this 9 gates, city of 9 gates. Okay. Therefore, a Krishna conscious person is free from both the outer and inner activities of the material body. So, if you are a Krishna consciousness person, you are free from inner and outer of the activities of the body. Okay, this was discussed in 5.13. Now we will see 5.14. Role of modes of material nature. What is the role of modes of material nature? Verse number 14. Living entity does not create activities, nor induces people to act, nor creates fruits of action, all enacted by modes of material nature. Okay, so here Lord Krishna is telling the role of material nature in this material world. 5.14. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजत प्रभु न कर्म फल संयोगम स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruit of action. All this is enacted by modes of material nature. So Lord Krishna is saying, oh Arjuna, those who are working in this material world, in material nature, they are not doing anything. They are not creating activities, they are not doing activities, they are not the cause of fruits of action. All this is enacted by three modes of material nature. Okay. So, na kartitvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma phal sanyogam swabhavastu pravartate. So, all these is enacted by material nature. You can see in the figure that how material nature is handling. So whatever activity you are performing, it belongs to three modes of material nature. There is no doubt. Lord Krishna is saying so confidently. He is instructing, he is giving instruction, he is giving a divine instruction to Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, whatever activity you are performing, you are not the cause of this activity. You are not the cause of fruits of action. All this is enacted by three modes of material nature. So, you are like a Kathputli. You are like a Kathputli. Everything is handled by three modes of material nature. What are the three modes of material nature? Satogun, Rajogun and Tamogun. Goodness, passion and ignorance. So, Lord Krishna is saying, what are the energies of Lord? What are the energies of Lord? So, it is given in superior nature and material nature. It is given in 7.5. Apareyam itastva anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. So besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material nature, inferior nature. Material nature is inferior nature. And Lord Krishna's nature is superior nature. So Lord Krishna is saying there is, besides from this material nature, there is one superior nature. Material nature is inferior nature. So all these are controlled by me. Okay. So these are the energies of material nature. Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna's energies are superior nature and material nature. Superior energy, jivas. Inferior energy, matter. Okay. So jiva's nature is known as superior energy. And inferior energy belongs to matter. Belongs to material nature. It belongs to Prakriti. Belongs to the material world. Superior energy belongs to the supreme, Supersoul, supreme person. Okay. And what are the causes of suffering? Soul in contact with material nature since time immemorial. Okay. If you are living since time immemorial in any world, whether you are in a spiritual world or in material world, you will get attached to that. You will get attached to that. And it is very difficult to come out of this. So only Krishna consciousness, only by Krishna consciousness you can try to come out of this kind of suffering. Okay. So only Krishna consciousness, only devotional service can help you to come out of this material world. You can live in this material world, but by the Krishna process of Krishna consciousness, you can be independent while living in this city of 9 gates. Navadvare pure dehi. Okay. So soul in contact with material nature since time immemorial. So temporary body is cause of variety of activities and resultant reactions. Okay. So these bodily activities are very, very bad. When we perform anything, we expect result. We don't think that all these things given by superior nature, all these belongs to superior nature, all these belong to Lord Krishna. I am the instrument. I am following the order of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna has assigned me this task to perform. So my duty is to perform the task. Okay. We should not think more than that. We should not get attached to the fruits of action. Okay. So in ignorance, one identifies with the activities of body and suffers the result. Okay. In ignorance, what happens? You get attached to the fruits of action. I am doing, I am the owner, I am the enjoyer of the result. So this is the thinking in ignorance. In ignorance means when you are attached to material world. When you are attached to material world, ignorance will destroy your life. You will ignore everything. I am the doer, I am the performer, I am the enjoyer. I am the enjoyer. This is wrong attitude. Krishna, Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, is the supreme controller, is the supreme proprietor. So he possesses all the five opulences. That should be right understanding, and that understanding can be achieved only by Krishna consciousness, only by devotional service, only by serving spiritual master, only by associating with devotees, only by hearing Krishna Katha, only by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, only by following 4 regulation rules. What are the 4 regulation rules? Be away from illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. These are the 4 regulations rules that you have to follow. And chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds every day. You have to chant every second, every moment. But at least in the morning, 5 o'clock, after taking bath and performing the worship, performing the service to the deity, after just sit for 1 hour and do chanting. Prabhupada used to say that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so what is the solution for this cause of suffering? Best process to get out of the water is by transcendental Krishna consciousness. So this is the ocean where if you don't know how to swim, you will be sink. You will be destroyed. So only Krishna consciousness is a boat using which or riding on which you can cross this material ocean. This material ocean is very, very dangerous. Once you get attached to this material world, this material activity, it is very difficult to come out of this. So only Krishna consciousness, only by devotional service you can come out of this. Living entity is not the master. Living entity is not the master. Living entity is like a tuch, is very minute. So minute means what? Minute means we are all part and parcel of the whole. Minute is the part of whole, and whole is Supersoul, and Supersoul is Lord Krishna. And our soul is very, very minute. So soul is part and parcel of Supersoul. So he is neither the proprietor nor the controller of the actions and reactions of the body. Living entity is not the master. Lord Krishna is saying living entity is not the master. He is neither controller, he is neither controller, he is nor proprietor. As long as he is in the city of body, he appears to be master of it. So, when you have this body, maybe very handsome, maybe very fair, maybe very dark, maybe very healthy, maybe so many qualities, if you possess, you don't think that you are the master of this body. All the beauty, Krishna is the most beautiful. Krishna is the more energetic. Krishna is the more powerful. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Krishna is the supreme controller. So he possesses all the five opulences. He is most famous. He is the wealthiest person. So everything belongs to Krishna. All the five opulences belongs to Krishna. Then how a living entity can be a master? Master means what? Possessor of everything. Possessor of so and so property. Possessor of so and so wealth. Gold, money, ornament, whatever. But Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor. So how you can be a master? Everything belongs to Krishna. Okay? So living entity is not the master. One analogy is given. Waves of material ocean are simply tossing him in the struggle for existence. So if you are swimming in the ocean, waves of ocean are like tossing you up and down. Anything can happen at any time. So only by the boat of Krishna consciousness you can come out of this ocean. However great swimmer you are, if you are not taking the help of Krishna consciousness boat, you cannot cross the material ocean. Very, very dangerous. If you are thrown into the middle of the ocean and you are asked to just cross this ocean, such a great ocean has no end, no beginning, how can you cross the ocean without Krishna consciousness boat, without taking the help of Krishna consciousness boat? Okay, that's what told in the 5.14, that Krishna consciousness is the boat using which you can cross this material ocean. So Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that living entity does not create activities, nor induces people to act, nor creates fruits of action. You are not doing it. Living entities are not doing anything. This is all created, done, performed by material nature. So that is 5.14, 5.15. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnanena vritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavah. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. Okay, so ignorance has covered their knowledge, like cloud covers the sun. Okay, when in the rainy season cloud covers the sun, we think that sun disappears. No, sun is there. Whatever a little light you are getting, that is because of sun only. So this is our vision. This is our thinking, that when cloud covers sun, we think that sun is disappeared. No. So cloud is the form of ignorance. Because of this ignorance, we are not able to see Krishna. We are attached to these material fruits of action. And these material fruits of action plays a role of ignorance. Because of this, we are attached to ignorance. We are in the ignorance. because of which we are not able to understand Krishna. Okay, so one in knowledge sees material nature as being under Lord's control. So when you have knowledge, knowledge means what? You have knowledge of Lord Krishna. You have knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called real knowledge. You have the knowledge of absolute truth. That is called as real knowledge. Thus the Lord as the ultimate performer and the cause of all actions. So if you are in Krishna consciousness, that knowledge, because you have knowledge, so Lord Krishna will take care of everything. Okay, so material nature is under, if you are in knowledge, material nature is under the control of Lord Krishna. If you don't have knowledge, then ignorance will destroy you. Because of this, ignorance will play a role of darkness. Without of this darkness, you cannot see Lord Krishna. If you have knowledge, this knowledge plays a role of light. In light we can see everything, but if there is no light we cannot see. Everything will be invisible. Okay? And thus the Lord as the ultimate performer and the cause of all actions. So if you have knowledge, that knowledge is Krishna. That knowledge is Krishna. Wherever Krishna is there, material nature will not touch you. Because material nature is under the control of Lord Krishna. So we can say the Lord is the ultimate performer and the cause of all actions. Supreme Lord Krishna is the ultimate performer and the cause of all actions. Krishna is doing everything. Krishna is doing everything. So whatever pious activities, whatever sinful activities you are doing, based on that you are rewarded and you are penalized. Okay? So soul is a Jivatma. Soul is a Jivatma. So it is a Anu. And Lord Krishna is Vibhu. So soul is Anu and Supersoul is Vibhu. Okay? So soul, Anu is like atomic, prone to ignorance because of limited power. Although soul is full of knowledge and bliss. So soul is full of knowledge and bliss, but prone. There is a possibility you can get attached to ignorance because you have limited power. As a part of the Supreme Lord, He has the capacity to desire by His free will. As a part of the Supreme Lord. Why? Soul is a part of Supersoul. So whatever qualities are there in Supersoul is also there in soul. But it is in minute quantity. So as part of the Supreme Lord, He has the capacity to desire by His free will. So soul has got a free will. Like there is one analogy, on one branch there are two birds are sitting. One bird is enjoying, eating everything, and another bird is just watching, keeping a watch on that particular bird, what he or she is doing. Okay, so that the bird which is watching is Lord Krishna, is Supersoul. And the bird which is enjoying with the fruits of action is a form of soul. So soul and Supersoul are sitting on the same branch of a tree. So in our heart, soul resides and Supersoul also resides. So soul is full of knowledge and bliss, but it is prone to get attached to ignorance. So, as a part of the Supreme Lord, He has the capacity to desire by His free will. So, Krishna can do anything. Likewise, soul has also got free will. Krishna is independent, Supersoul is independent, and our soul is also part of that. So, we have got that quality of free will. independency. So what we are doing? We are misusing our independency. We are not going towards the Krishna consciousness. That is the greatest mistake. So we are misusing our free will. So Lord Krishna has given us free will. So we should use this free will in the Krishna consciousness only. And this Krishna consciousness can be followed by using devotional service, by serving devotees, by serving deities, by becoming Dasanudas, servant of Krishna. Dasanudas, दासों के दास. Okay. So desire is a subtle form of conditioning for the living entity. Having desire is not bad, but desiring material things is bad. If you desire for Krishna, if you work for Krishna, your desire belongs to the desire of Krishna, then it is okay. Then it is very good. Why? Because Krishna is the supreme master. Krishna is the supreme instructor. And we are the follower. That's what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, whatever I am telling you, just follow that blindly. You are the instrument. You are nimitta matram. You just perform whatever I am doing. You don't think, you don't give a second thought to that. So, similarly, Lord Krishna is the supreme instructor. He is the supreme master. Whatever he is telling, we have to just follow. Okay? We don't have to think on that. So, we have to work for fulfilling the desire of Krishna. We don't have to work for fulfilling our desire. Then it becomes contaminated. Okay. So living entity desire has to be put into a certain condition of life. Hence stuck in cycle of actions and reactions. So if you are attached, you try to perform to fulfill your desire or your own desire. So that is the greatest mistake. That is the great mistake. Okay. So because of this fulfilling your own desire, you get stuck into the material world. Okay. You will perform something, you will desire something, you will perform something, you will get some result, you will enjoy, again finishes, again you desire, again you likewise. So this is a cycle. This is a cycle of ignorance. This cycle happens because of ignorance. Okay. So in ignorance, claims that the Lord is responsible for his conditional existence. Okay. So when we are happy, we think that it is my hard work. I have done so and so thing, that's why I am enjoying, that's why I have got so much money, wealth, so I will enjoy. When we are in problem, we get stuck somewhere, there is difficulty, there is a loss, there is a great loss, then we remember Lord Krishna and we say, though Lord Krishna has given me this problem, he has created, he is responsible for my this great loss. This is the thinking, those who are in ignorance. Those who are in Krishna consciousness, for them there is no duality. Whether there is happiness or there is sadness, there is sorrowness, there is profit, there is loss. In all conditions they are happy. So chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the soul. Now what is super soul? Super soul is Paramatma and soul is Jivatma. So Atma and Paramatma, Jivatma and super soul. Okay. So Vibhu, super soul is a Vibhu. Paramatma is Vibhu. He is big, unlimited. There is no Adi. Vibhu is omniscient, full of all six opulences. He possesses all six opulences. He is always satisfied in himself, undisturbed by sinful or pious activities. So Lord Krishna is full of all six opulences. He is independent from this material world, whether a living entity performs pious activities or performs sinful activities. He keeps himself aloof from that. He is undisturbed. He does not create a particular situation for any living entity. Living entity get all these problems because of his own activity, because of his own desire. If you desire to fulfill material activities, so what is the result? You are the only responsible. Why Lord is responsible? Lord has given you free will. Okay, and you are using this, misusing this free will. Because of that, you are getting so and so problem. So this should be the understanding. Once you understand this, then automatically you will proceed towards Krishna consciousness. So Lord is Vibhu and soul is Jivatma is Anu, atomic. So Paramatma is witness and permitter. I told you example of there is one branch. On one branch there are two birds are sitting. So one is in the form of Supersoul, and another is in the form of soul. Paramatma and Jivatma. So desires of the living entities are fulfilled only by Lord. He fulfills the desires as one deserves. Man proposes, God disposes. So when you desire and your desire is fulfilled, who has fulfilled this your desire? Only Lord Krishna is giving you everything. You ask for money, Lord Krishna give you lot of money. Allow, enjoy. So what should be our duty? Lord Krishna will fulfill your desire, whatever you desire. So Lord, and when you are asking for material things, Lord Krishna will give you immediately. When you are asking for devotion, when you are asking for to association of devotees, it may take some time. But when you are asking for material things, you will get immediately. So this is the mercy of Lord Krishna. That if you want to become a devotee, it will take time. Mercy of Lord will take some time. Okay. So this is the Paramatma is a witness and permitter. So Paramatma is in the form of witness. He is witnessing everything. Analogy of flower, Lord as the constant companion of soul. Understand desires of soul as one can smell the fragrance of a flower by being near to it. So if you want to smell a flower, the fragrance of the flower, what you will do? You will go near to the flower. Similarly, Supersoul, Lord Krishna is in the form of Supersoul, near to soul. Because soul and Supersoul both are residing in the heart. They are sitting on the same branch. We call it as they are sitting on the same branch. Okay, so that's what Lord Krishna is in the form of Supersoul. He is a witness and permitter of the soul. So soul and Supersoul both are friends. Both are sitting on the same branch of a tree. Both are residing in the same heart. But Supersoul is a witness and permitter, and soul is an enjoyer. Soul desires, Supersoul fulfills. Okay, so living entities are man proposes, God disposes. Man proposes, God disposes. So Lord is neutral to everyone. Lord is neutral to everyone, given in Kaushitaki Upanishad and Vedanta Sutra. He does not interfere with the desires of minute, independent living entities. Soul desires, super soul fulfills. Krishna never interferes in individual desires. So he has given you free will. So please, all of you, use your free will in the service of Lord Krishna. Whatever money you earn, you donate some amount in the divine cause. Donate to temple so that Brahmanas can be fed. It can be spent on the service of deities. It can be spent in feeding Brahmanas, in the betterment of devotees. Okay, so this is our duty as a part of this material world. And so this is also a divine activity. So if you are performing donation, you are serving devotees, you are serving temple, you are donating for the construction of temple, these are the divine activity. These are the, so this happens because of good activities, or this is counted in the pious activities. So some or the other day you will be attracted to Lord Krishna. If you serve Krishna, Lord Krishna will make you such an arrangement that you will be near to Krishna, you will be near to devotees, you will be near to temple. That is the mercy of Super Soul, Lord Krishna. When the living entity is bewildered, the Lord allows him to fulfill those desires. But Lord is never responsible for the particular situation created. Okay? So man proposes, God disposes. When the living entity desires Krishna, the Lord takes special care and encourages one to desire in such a way that one can attain him and be eternally happy. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. If you do pious activities, dadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna will make you such a nice arrangement that you will be near to Krishna. You will be proceeding towards Krishna consciousness. Okay, so this is given in 4.5.15. 5.16. So Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, verse number 16. So knowing the relations between super soul, soul, material nature allows one to be detached from all fruits. So if you have knowledge, knowledge means knowledge about absolute truth, knowledge about Lord Krishna, and if you have knowledge, then you can be detached from the fruits of action. So knowing means what? Knowledge of super soul, knowledge of soul, knowledge of material nature. If you know all these three, it means you have knowledge. If you have knowledge, sinful activities will not touch you. You will be walking in Krishna consciousness. Okay, 5.16. Na datte kasya chit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnane navritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. 5.15. 5.16. Jnanena tu tad jnanam yesham nasitam atmanah tesham aditya vajjnanam prakashayati tatparam. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. So once you have knowledge of these three things, soul, super soul and material nature, you start working towards Krishna consciousness. So it is the daytime. Like when sun comes, we can see everything in the daytime. But when sun goes, sunsets in the west, in the evening time, we cannot see. We cannot see. There is a darkness, we cannot see. So when you are in ignorance, it is darkness, and when you are in knowledge, it is the sunlight. It works like a sunlight. So, living activity, living entity actually falls into the last snare of nescience. To think oneself as God. If you start thinking that you are a God, I am a God, that is the last snare of nescience. Okay. Refutation, if a living entity is God, then how can he become bewildered by nescience? If so, then nescience or Saturn is greater than God. God never bewilders. If you are bewildered, you are not a God, you are dog. Okay, so if soul thinks oneself as God, then he is not God, he is a dog. Two categories of bewilderment: to think oneself as God, to identify oneself with matter. This is my house, this is my wife, this is my children, this is my property, this is my money. This is the attachment with matter. This happens because of attachment with matter. Transcendental knowledge in Krishna consciousness removes all bewilderment. So if you have knowledge about Krishna, that knowledge is known as transcendental knowledge. So if you have transcendental knowledge, that transcendental knowledge will remove all the bewilderment. So glories of transcendental knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita 4.36 to 38. So what is that perfect knowledge? To know oneself different from the body. I am not this body, I am soul. Okay. To know that one can never become God, and thus the soul is eternally different from Supersoul. Given in Bhagavad Gita 2.12. So soul and Supersoul are different. Soul is the minute quantity of Supersoul. Supersoul is a whole, and so soul is the part of that whole. A very minute quantity, in very minute. In quality wise they are same, Supersoul and soul, but in quantity wise soul is minute. Soul is Anu and Supersoul is Vibhu. So how is the perfect knowledge achieved? Seek out a bona fide spiritual master. Jnaninas tattva darsinah. So though they are all self-realized soul, spiritual masters are self-realized soul. Jnaninas tattva darsinah. They have seen the truth. Okay, the one who has seen the truth, they are actually liberated. They are actually spiritual master. So spiritual master can liberate you. Spiritual master can share with you right knowledge. No one else can share with you what is the knowledge. Mayavadi gurus are so many there in the market. In this material world, there are so many Mayavadi gurus. They say, I am a spiritual master, become my follower. And they are teaching also Mayavadi knowledge. Okay, so you have to take care while choosing the spiritual master. So seek out a bona fide spiritual master and learn Krishna consciousness under him. Serve devotees, serve spiritual master, inquire from them. Whatever doubt you have, inquire from them, work with them. Once you start working with them, automatically your activities will be purified. Because we have done so many impious activities. We have performed every moment sinful activities. How can we have the transcendental knowledge? Transcendental knowledge can be only achieved under the bona fide spiritual master. So perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna. As sun lights up everything in daytime. That is given in 7.19. Bahunam janma namante ज्ञानवान् माम प्रपद्यते Vasudevah sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Okay, so it's very difficult to find such a great soul. Sa mahatma sa durlabha. Bahunam janmanamante, after many births and deaths. Jnanavana mama prapadyate. It is very difficult. After many births you get knowledge about me. Vasudeva sarvam iti. That Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva is the only owner. He is the supreme owner. He is the supreme proprietor. He is the owner of material world. He is the owner of spiritual world. Vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. And that position only comes when you have the transcendental knowledge. And this transcendental knowledge itself comes after many birth and deaths. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavanam mama prapadyate Vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So how is the perfect knowledge achieved? By working, serving the spiritual master. And perfect knowledge can only be achieved when you surrender unto Krishna. So who is a perfect representation of God? One who never claims that he is God. If one says I am God, he is not a God, he is a dog. And one who never says that I am God, he is actually a spiritual master. Although he is paid all respect ordinarily paid to God because he has knowledge of God. The one who has knowledge of God get the respect in the material world as God. But he never thinks that I am God. If he thinks that I am God, he is a dog. Prabhupada used to say that one if he says that I am God, consider him as a god, a dog. Okay? So the servant of Supreme Lord Krishna are also treated as God. But he never thinks him as God. That is the transcendental knowledge. So what is the relationship between soul, super soul and modes of material nature? Soul desires, Lord does not interfere. Lord does not interfere in the desiring of soul. Lord at super soul sanctions those desires that the soul deserves. Man proposes, God disposes. You desire, God will fulfill. People go to the temple, to the demigod, they pray for some desire, okay, and it is fulfilled. So demigods never fulfills that desire. It is the Supreme Lord Krishna only who is fulfilling desire. Why? Because all the demigods are top class Vaishnavas. They give all credit to Supreme Lord Krishna. The one who praises Lord Krishna, every moment they are treated as demigod. So devotees give credit to Supreme Lord and Supreme Lord give credit to devotees. Okay. So soul desires, super soul fulfills. So Lord is the director of the choreography who causes activities to be done through material nature. So actual director is Supreme Lord Krishna and material nature is work like an assistant. In some other slokas we have seen that material nature is the doer of the activities which belongs to three modes of material nature. But actually director is Krishna. So Krishna is directing to material nature is directing to us. Okay, so whole and soul is Lord Krishna. Modes of material nature carry out actions to fulfill those desires. Body and actions are choreographed by the modes. Establishes living entity is not the only doer. Who is responsible? Supersoul, not responsible for all actions, because all initiated by desires of the living entity. So you think Lord Krishna fulfills it, and whatever result you get, if you are attached, you will suffer. If you get profit, you will enjoy. So enjoying is also one kind of suffering in this material world. No one can enjoy in this material world, because everything is given by Lord Krishna, and you are not offering it to Krishna, you are not remembering it to Krishna. You think that it belongs to you, I am the enjoyer. That is the wrong thinking. Krishna gives you everything, you have to offer it to first Krishna. You have to give all the credit to Krishna. The benefits of understanding the position of the Supreme, it leads to a state of perfect knowledge. If you give credit to Krishna, it means you have the knowledge of absolute truth, and that is the real knowledge. Supersoul is the ultimate controller of the activity, but not the initiator, and modes of nature are the agents of the Lord. The Lord is not the initiator. Material mode is works under the control of Lord Krishna. The living entity is responsible for his own good and bad actions, and is thus responsible for consequences. So living entity is responsible for his all activities. Okay? That is the conclusion of this particular. So next time we'll see 5.17 onwards. Okay. We'll stop over here. If you have any question, you can ask. No question? Hare Krishna. So we'll stop over here. Srila Prabhupada की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्णा.